Yo, YouTube, what is up? What is up? We're back at it again. It's Dizzy Reacts. Happy December the 4th. Happy Thursday. Hope y'all are doing good. Today we're gonna be reacting to this one video that popped up on my YouTube recommendation. It's called What Being a Personal Trainer Taught Me About Women by Martel Metellus. I think that's how you say his last name. I don't wanna butcher it, but yeah. This video like popped up on my recommended home page on YouTube. I'm not even subscribed to this guy. I don't know who he is, but I thought it was an interesting video, and I would love to like watch it and share it with the internet, share my opinions and all that. So without further ado, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Again, go check out Martel. Shout out to Martel, and let's see what he has to say about personal trainers and women. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's just watch a video and see.
I'll tell y'all, being a personal trainer at these luxury gyms, Equinox, Boston Sports Clubs, in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Look up Wellesley, Massachusetts. Like I would say it's top two, top three, like wealthiest city in Boston. Like when I was a trainer at these places, especially when I was in college, because that was my first ever quote unquote occupation that I did, especially while I was in college, there were a lot of interactions that I would have with women, married women specifically, not single women.
Mm.
I did have some single women that I worked with. That's fine, but married women.
Married is crazy. Let me guess. They was flirting on you even though they were married. It's sad, bro. Society nowadays, I don't know, bro. It's sad. If y'all are looking to get married, like you gotta pay attention to how your girl, how your woman, moves. You gotta pay attention to that, because I don't know. I had a situation, something like this. I'll get into it later. It has nothing to do with the gym, but I'll get into it later in the video.
I would have some interactions with them that would leave me scratching my head because
Mm-mm.
I'm a very moral person, and obviously don't shit where you eat, right? Like
Ah,
always, that
facts.
was always
Never
my
shit where you
mindset:
eat.
never shit where you eat, and also never touch another man's wife, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
another thing, consensually, of course. I know some people are gonna think like I'm saying something crazy, but I would have these crazy experiences where obviously I'm a trainer, I'm here to make money,
Right.
I'm making money,
Making money,
and I'm
right?
working with these women, and they start to get really flirtatious, right?
Mm.
And you start to wonder because that they're married because they came with their husbands in that consultation. Their husbands were sitting in that consultation. Their husbands were egging them on to actually be trained by me,
Mm-mm.
and they were all for it. And then once the husband left and they were just me and them in the gym, right? They would start to, say flirtatious things. They
It's because the husband's not there no more, and it's sad. It's sad. Like I was saying earlier, I had a situation. Right, I was at a party, and this one girl that I've been chatting to, but like we fell off. Like it's complicated. That's all I'm gonna say. But we were talking, we know each other, but we kind of stopped talking, right? She's at that party with her boyfriend, and I'm like, whatever, like I'm not gonna care, right? Like I'm there to party, I'm there to have fun. I'm doing my own thing, I'm chilling, I'm whatever, and she's like, alcohol gets involved. Um, I don't believe in blaming it on alcohol, blaming it on drinks. I'm not a big believer in that. If you do very weird things, or if you can't handle yourself under alcohol, then you shouldn't consume it. Pretty much. That's like, I'm not, like, I hate when people blame it on the liquor. It don't make no sense. The liquor doesn't make you, it doesn't turn your personality a whole 360, 180. Now all it just does is it just makes you like, it just pretty much makes you not afraid, or pretty much makes you bold. It makes you bolder, but like still, like, what's the saying? Drunken actions or sober thoughts. That's the saying. So, long story short, right? I'm at the party. I'm chilling. I got a couple of drinks in me. Shorty, this girl, Shorty, right? she's pouring up her first drink, right? But obviously, um, her man is there with her, right? And she don't want to make it look too sus or something, so she kind of like, I'm sitting on the table, so she gets like, no, I'm not sitting on the table. I'm sitting on the chair beside the table. So she gets beside the table and she starts pouring her first shot, right? Of what was it? First shot of vodka, right? But she's like bending over and she's pretty much just like pushing her butt like to my direction, right? Like I can, like, I know what's going on, bro. My boy knows what's going on too. My boy's in the corner. He's seeing this happening. He's laughing because he's like, "Yo, doesn't she have a boyfriend or something like that?" Like, and I'm mad uncomfortable because it's like your boyfriend is in the same room and you's in front of me, you know, arched over, clearly pushing your ass in front of my face, like you want me to see it clearly, and you're acting like you're pouring up drink, right? You know what I mean? So obviously her boyfriend like comes beside her and I'm not paying attention to that because I don't want it. I'm fucking uncomfortable as hell. Her boyfriend comes, he's like, da, 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 what are you doing? Blah blah blah. And she's like, oh, I'm just pouring up a drink. Let you know, move on. Later in the night, she's doing more. Later in the night, she's coming to me now. She's getting on top of me. She's rubbing her meow meow, on me. You know what I mean? Like, and it's mad uncomfortable, right? Because again, your boyfriend is here, and I'm not the type of guy to like if you give me hints, I'm all in for it. But I'm not the type of guy to like he said, put your hands on another man's woman. Like I ain't gonna do that. That's disgusting. So I'm disgusted. I get up. I go chill on the couch, minding my own business. She walks in and she gets on top of me. So now I'm like confused. Now I don't know what to do, right? I don't want to push her off because I don't want to hurt her. And I don't want to like grab her because it's like it may look like I put her on my lap now. You know what I mean? Like she's fully on top of me. Like like she's like, bro, like bro, it was so messy, bro. Man walks in and her man like yanks her off me now on some, come over here, right? Man's like, that's enough, come here. You know what I mean? And as her man is yanking her off, she's like grabbing onto my hands and like, her man's yanking her off, so it's like slowly like coming down my hand or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's mad awkward because I don't know what to do. I genuinely don't know what to do. Like she was drunk when she did that, but when she started, she wasn't drunk. And the alcohol, once the alcohol got into her system, it became worse. Or not worse, but it became bolder. That's the term. So yeah, like, bro, women, yeah, I don't know. Women are going to cheat on you, in my opinion. If you ask me, do I trust a woman? No, I don't trust a woman. The only person I trust is myself. I don't trust no woman. I don't trust no man. Point blank, period. I only trust myself. I only trust myself and God. That's it. Right? So y'all got to be careful about like who you call, your girl or something, because I'm having situations where I'm thinking like, yo, that's your girl, and yet she's on me. She's on my shit, and she's on some don't forget about me on some grab. She's literally grabbing my hand every time she walks by me. She's grabbing my hand every time she walks by me. She's, kicking me in the foot. I'm mad and like, why are you kicking me in the foot? I'm mad annoyed. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get my attention, but I'm not trying to give you that attention because like I'm mad uncomfortable and I'm annoyed that you're kicking me in the foot to get my attention. Like, it wasn't no hard kick, so no, I ain't no bitch or something like that. But yeah, like, bro, it's crazy that a woman in a relationship is more likely to cheat, or more likely to, you know, more likely to have sex with another man than a woman not in a relationship. It's crazy to me. I don't know why. It's mad confusing. And the fact that, married women are flirting and making advances towards this guy is crazy. I don't know, bro. It's a cold world, Be careful who you call yours, because they may be yours, but only for that time, And next time there's someone else's, you know what I mean? So
Like,
what?
oh, you're so attractive. Like, oh, your muscles. I love how you look. Like, oh my.
That's another thing too, Loki. I started going to the gym. My muscles are getting big, bro. I'm trying to go to the gym. I'm trying to get some weight. I'm trying to get bigger. I'm trying to look D's. I'm trying to look Aki, so I can, start picking up the married women. Start picking up the 30. I joke.
God, like you're so amazing. I wish my husband was like that. And they would start to say things like this in the beginning, right? And I would work with these women for about 3 to 6 months, right? Now,
Yeah, they would say it in the beginning, and you don't even it doesn't even register in your brain, because you're like, whatever. It's probably just compliments. It's probably just, and then it gets worse, and it not gets worse, but it gets bolder. It gets bolder. The same that happened with me, It starts off slowly, then it starts getting bolder and bolder when, they start getting more comfortable with you, when you and the other person starts getting more comfortable with you, starts getting bolder and bolder, and then to the point it's like, yo, what the hell are you even doing?
nothing crazy. But as the weeks went on, the
It
flirtation,
gets
the
bolder.
the flirtations got
Mm-mm,
more and more and more and more and more, right? To the
mm-mm,
point
bolder,
where
bolder. Yeah,
it just got to a point where I'm like, you're married. Like I would
yeah,
tell him this, but in my head,
exactly.
I'm like, you're married. Like how could you
How
be
can you
this
do this?
flirtatious? Like how could you be egging me on so much? And it would get to a point, I would say typically around week 8,
Mm-hmm.
they would be like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm really attracted to you. Like I don't really do much when I'm at home. My husband's not there, he's always at work. You can come over or something like that, or like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. And I would politely say no, I respectfully say no, because obviously, I respect their husbands, I respect what they're
Yeah.
doing, I respect the hustle that they're
WWW, mans. We need more niggas like this, because I know a lot of mans who's gonna fold under pressure. When pressure is applied, they fold. You gotta say no, thank you, excuse me, and carry on with your day. Point blank. Period. Move on, bro. You don't need that. None in your life, bro.
doing. But there's one thing I realized, because these demographic of women were rich women, right? And these rich women were always left at home by themselves. They were always bored. So they always wanted to talk to a lot of these guys who were in these services industries, right? They would have their own personal masseuse who was a male. They would have their own trainer who was a male. They'd have their own gardener who was a male. They'd have all these.
That's so messed up, man. That's so crazy. You be looking around like, yo, why is your gardener over here at 7 p.m. in the night talking about he wants to cut trees? What bush is he trying to cut? Like, it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. And they got money too. That's the crazy part. Money can't even save you. You know how mans be saying, yo, get your bands up, and the women will come on your dick. Then clearly not. Get your bands up. You're still gonna get cheated on by a gardener. You're still gonna get cheated on by a masseuse, by a by a personal trainer, by a chef. It's crazy, man. You can't win.
Male
Can't
services
win.
around them, right? Clearly.
Another red flag. Another red flag, bro. Y'all need to watch out for is, if the girl you're talking to, or if the girl you want to get to know, has a lot of like guy friends. You know what I mean? That's a massive red flag. If she has a lot of guy friends, you gotta be cautious with that, because it's the same thing as what he's saying right now with the woman that has all these servicemen around working for her, and in different ways. You know what I mean? A personal chef, a gardener, you know what I'm saying? And in the end, they're all men. So you gotta watch out for that. You know, if you're talking to a girl and she's like, "Oh, I want you to meet my best friend," and it's like a guy, it's whatever, like cool. But if she starts like, if I would say majority of her friends are guys, that's when you need to be careful. Or you need to ask, you know, the guys like, "Yo, why are all her friends like guys?" You know what I mean? Like, be careful with that, bro, because this shit ain't sweet. Life ain't sweet.
For a reason. It never was just that, right? It never was just for just like their actual trade work
Yeah,
that they
it
did.
never was.
But as I was talking to them more, I would try to understand what was going on at home. Because that would give me a good understanding of why they act the way that they act.
Let me guess what's happening at home. The man is rich. He's got money, which means he's probably doing some important stuff or some stuff that requires a lot of time or effort, or some stuff that requires a lot of attention, right? Attention. So because of that, because he's making a lot of money and all that, you know, he's hustling and all that, all of his attention is not on the woman, which is why she stays at home and she feels how she feels, because, you know, your man is out there getting money and everything, but he's more focused on that than he is you. So that's why I'm guessing that's what leads to, you know, cheating, and what leads to this situation.
Because I do believe that women who feel neglected, or who feel like they're just sitting at home and just like their husband is out doing whatever he's doing, again, respectful, because he's going out, he's going on business trips.
Of course.
Who knows what he's doing on these business trips?
He's making that money.
But like, he's bringing in money, right? She's living this comfortable lifestyle. Why would you talk to a 19-year-old personal trainer who's in college still? Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? So it always hit me in the back of my head, like, what's going on? Like, why are you choosing to talk to me versus the guy who's rich? Don't women like rich guys? Don't they?
That's what the I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. Money cannot unlame you, bro. If you's a lame ass nigga, you's a lame ass nigga. Money cannot unlame you. Women like rich guys, but I think that's more gold diggers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the type of women that maybe you're talking about, or some, I don't know. I personally don't think women like rich men. I think a woman likes wealthy, what's the word? Comfortable man, a man that, you know, has what he has. Doesn't have to be a lot, but he's living comfortably. That comfort, that's what women like. Not money, because in the end, like, money isn't something that you can, you know, it's something that it's not, there's no purpose in money. That's the word I'm looking for. There's no purpose in money. Its only purpose is to give you happiness. And if you're not happy in that marriage, even though there's a lot of money, then you're going to use that money to find happiness.
Only want money? And when I started to really analyze this, I noticed that the money was kind of like a safety net for them. They want the rich guys because the rich guys have the money that will give them the lifestyle that they want.
Okay,
but
yeah, that's true. That's
comes
true.
in with the guy who may not be rich, but also has a certain personality and has a certain edge to him that they're super attracted to, more of like the high testosterone guy, right? That like they just have like this crazy fondness of, they fantasize over. A lot of women fantasize over the personal trainer. They fantasize over the masseuse that touches them a little bit in a certain way, and they get excited and they want to do this and they want to do that. I'm not saying all women, but that happens consistently. And it got to a certain point where I was really just asking so many questions about their relationships, and they would open up. They would say a lot. They say, "Oh, well, you know, he doesn't last very long. Like it's kind of boring. Like I've never orgasmed in my sex life at all." Like they would just like throw this shit out there, and they would bash the guy so much. And in my head, I'm like, "But he's a millionaire."
That's your husband too.
When I tell you,
bro, it don't matter if he's a millionaire. That's your husband. That's your man. You looked in the eye and said, "I am yours forever." The day I die, that's your man.
Wellesley, Massachusetts, billionaires out there, right? There are. I remember when I was waiting tables because I did a little bit of serving at the country club, the Wellesley Country Club. The CEO of Bank of America was there. I'll never forget that. I didn't even know who he was. I served him, right? And these are the types of guys that live there. Like all the NBA players live there, everything, right? And all of their wives, I'm not saying his wife, or I'm not saying any NBA player's wife, but like a lot of these rich guys' wives would go to these trainers and they would flirt with them and they would do things with them.
Yeah.
And it always puzzled me because I'm like, you have something safe at home.
You have money, you have everything.
Why are you coming here and taking the risk with somebody? What if he finds out? Right? But then obviously, you know, they have probably half of whatever the guy has and they feel like they can do whatever they want. And it was just crazy to experience this stuff. And they would always talk about how like he doesn't necessarily listen to me, doesn't listen to me, enough attention,
doesn't love me, no attention.
I'm with the kids.
I'm alone in the house. I'm with the kids. He doesn't take me on dates. He doesn't buy me nice things. He doesn't kiss me the way I want to be kissed. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He doesn't treat me or see me like a person. He doesn't.
Like I just like want to have some fun, right? And
yeah, that too. He doesn't take me out so I can have fun. That too.
It's tough to hear this as a man because you're like, man, what if this shit happens to me? Which again, it can happen to anybody. It can happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. It doesn't fucking matter. The reality is, it is a possibility.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I've also noticed is it's a possibility that can be reduced if you're a man who can basically do more, right? And again, this is going to piss off a lot of guys. They're like, why do I have to do more?
Why do I have to do more?
Women at all? Go ahead. Don't do that, right? That's your prerogative.
Nah, you got to do more as a man.
As a masculine man, I take that as a challenge.
You got to do more.
How can I be somebody who's also fun, cool to talk to, like can actually give the woman a good experience while also getting the money as well, right? It's good to have both. But a lot of these guys will be so focused on their careers, which again, respect to them because that's super important. But the women would be on the side just fucking around, right? Idle's mind is the devil's playground is what I learned. Because
that's a tough saying. That's a tough saying. Idle mind is a devil's playground. That's a tough saying.
As they're doing these exercises, they're pointing their butt out a certain way.
Yeah.
They want to do more squats. All of a sudden, they want you.
Yeah. Can you check this form on my squat? Is there anything I need to fix or something? Like I said, bro. Back to the situation that I had that I was talking about earlier. Trying to pour the drink. Like, I swear you're supposed to stand up back straight when you're pouring the drink in your cup. But no, she's slanted over. She's trying to pop her butt out more towards me. Like, I know what you're doing, and I don't want this, man. This is mad uncomfortable.
You get right behind them. They want you to do all these different things. And I just realized, man, I'm like, if you're a dude and you let your woman, like, go be with, like, a male trainer or, like, a male...
not even a male trainer or a male, not just if you're a dude and you let your woman go be with a male guy that you can tell her body language is, you know, you can tell the way she maybe leans or look at him. If you allow that, then that's a problem. You deserve what's coming, you know. You deserve what's coming next, you know what I mean? See, me, if I had a girl that went to the gym, I promise you 10 toes down, 1000%, it's going to be me and her. You know, I love my gym time. I love going to the gym. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to get into shape, if you need a personal trainer, I got you. I'm going to be that personal trainer. Okay, we both going to the gym, right?
Masseuse or any of these different services, you're kind of cooked at the end of the day, especially if you're a grinder, if you're somebody who's really working hard and building and you're not at home very often. The likelihood of something happening is a lot higher. And I didn't realize this until I went through that process. And once I started to understand, like, it's not about the money.
It really isn't.
It's not. It's about the fun. It's about the thrill. It's about the emotional.
Money can't unlame someone. It's not about the money. It's if you're fun or if you're lame. That's it.
A roller coaster. A lot of these guys, when I would meet them, when they would come and sit down at, like, you know, we would do halfway point reviews and stuff like that. And like, they'd want to renew and everything. They would be so excited that I'm working with them. They're like, man, you're doing so great. She looks so amazing, et cetera, right? And it's like, they just didn't understand what was going on behind the scenes. It like could not even be possible in their mind. that their wife.
Yo, if I was a personal trainer and something like this happened to me, and the husband is there talking to me about renewing and all that, I might have to give him a side note. You know what I mean? Off the books, off the records. This one's just from, a man to man, man to man. Like, bro.
Would be flirting with a 19-year-old personal trainer. Like, what? Like, I have the money. Of course she's attracted to me. It's like, no. And by the way, a lot of these guys were fat. Out of shape. I was like, man, I'll train both of you.
Like I just said, if my girl is trying to go to the gym, it's gonna be me and her. I'm already locked in with the gym, it's gonna be me and her. I ain't gonna be watching you get thin and fit and I'm here getting fat and ugly. That ain't gonna work, bro. Yeah, a lot of these guys are fat and all that because they're probably not taking care of themselves. They're probably taking more time and care of their career than themselves. So it's unfortunate, really. It really is unfortunate. Yeah, it really is unfortunate, honestly. But like I said, bro, if your girl, you do have a girl and she's a gym girl, she be in the gym and all that. If you're talking to a girl even and she's like, oh, I love to go to the gym, you got it, bro. You gotta lock in. You gotta go to the gym, bro. Honestly, it's good for you. It's good both ways. You spend some time with you and your girl. You're both working out. You're both eating good. You're both healthy. You're both, talking to each other. You're both probably gonna have fun at the gym. It could be a date after. It could go so many ways. But yeah, for anyone out there, if you're talking to a girl and you see she's in the gym, you see she's doing squats, get your ass in the gym too, bro. Don't be the fat guy that, like he says, that sends his wife to the gym and his wife is, going around flirting with everyone. Don't be that guy. You know what I mean? Don't.
I jokingly say this in the consultations. I'll be like, hey, I can train both of you guys. Actually, that'd be dope. And of course, the woman will be like, no, it's just for me. And the guy will be like, yeah, she can have that. I'm good. Now, what's crazy
That's so crazy.
The woman would want to get in better shape. The man would not. As she got in better shape, she would start to look in different directions.
Yeah, right? She would.
I would see the same woman looking at other trainers as well. Not just me. I'm not saying
exactly.
I'm like this.
It's not just you. It's everyone else because now she's looking good. She's feeling good about herself, It was just you because you had that connection, You were her first. You were her first trainer, first personal trainer. So y'all have that kind of, breaking grounds. Y'all can talk to each other because, it's like, oh, I'm paying you to train me so I can what's up? You know what I mean? Talk to you and say what I want to say. You know what I mean? But like I said, or like he said, when she starts getting good, when she starts looking good, starts getting in shape, it was never just you. She's not yours. She's only your turn.
Over or nothing like that. It was just the idea of being with somebody who was in shape, somebody who was young, somebody who looked adventurous, somebody who looked like they were just living life just on the edge. Like that's what they were looking for, And so it got to a certain point where I just realized it's not all that it seems to be. Like chasing money is great to be able to chase a fulfilled life when it comes to like your finances to make sure that you're not stressed all the time. But it gets to a certain point where all of your life as a man has to be balanced, right? And it's like you can have the greatest woman in the world, but if you neglect her completely, she's going to go awry. She's going to start doing other shit.
She will.
Because they need attention. All of them do. It's normal for them to want attention. But it was just crazier to see these rich women who had the money, who wanted people who didn't have the money. All the trainers around me also were kind of similar to me financially. Like we weren't balling. Probably making around $50K a year, $40K a year doing the training stuff at the gym. You know how the gym works. Like you get paid probably 20%, if best, of what they're paying you per session, right? The going rate for those gyms that I was working at, the Equinox one in San Francisco, was $200 a session, right? Crazy, $200 a session. The one in Wellesley in Boston, Massachusetts, was around $90 a session, $90 to $100 a session. So these were like higher price things. And so we would get a small percentage.
$200 a session. She probably coming there 5 days a week. That's 1K. She's paying 1K a week. Damn. Damn. Yo, bro. Yeah, bro. It don't matter how much money I got. If I'm spending 1K a week on the gym, some's getting cut. Some like I could be a billionaire. I could be a multi quadrillionaire, whatever. 1K just on the gym. We getting the gym at home. We making our own gym at home. 1K, that's like 4K a month. With 4K a month, you can actually make a gym at home. You can make your own personal gym at home.
Of that, we'd only get 20%.
It's crazy though. 1K a week.
Understood.
That's crazy.
I was like, man, it's not.
That's if she's working 5 days, working out 5 days a week. Probably working out longer the way the man's talking about it. Probably coming there every day just to see him.
The whole like idea of women, like it just shattered my idea. Like it helped me understand that like you are not safe even with money. If you're one dimensional, if you only have money, you're not safe. You gotta have multiple different attributes to you that wow the woman. You have to be in her fantasy consistently as a man. Like if you're jacked, you're in shape, and you're also making money, and you're also charismatic, and you're also super competent.
You gotta be jacked, not jacked, but you gotta be in shape. Like I said, just go to the gym. As a dude, as a man, I genuinely think you should be going to the gym, and it's not even on no body shame, not no red pill, no nothing. I just think it's good biologically. It helps with your testosterone level, and in today's day and age, you know, testosterone levels are on a decline, so we gotta get our testosterone up unless we're gonna become less of a man. We're gonna become less manly, which is fine. It's okay to be less manly. You can have a feminine side as a man. I'd be crying. I see my own dad cry. That's cool. But in the end, you know, don't you want to see where your body can accomplish? Don't you want to see, you know, your peak or what you could have been? Don't you want to? You only got one life, you know, focus on your body, focus on the peak, you know, get to where you want to get, you know, be healthy, go on runs, you know, get in shape, get your money up. You need to get in shape, you need to get your money, and you need to be, what's the word? You need to listen, you know, you need to be funny, you need to listen, you need to be yourself, be kind, be funny, be listening, be yourself, you know what I mean? Do not show too much attention, but show that you're looking, pretty much. I think that's how, well, I don't think that's how you get a girl, but I think that's what, you know, as a man, you should look towards to a balanced life where you're healthy, you're in shape, where you have money, where you're funny, where you're attentive, and where at the same time you could also be, you know, not attentive and lock in and only focus on yourself. You know what I mean? That's what I think as a man you should crave, or you should be willing to push yourself towards. You can add more, and you should add more as a man.
Areas of life, she will always be attracted to you for the most part, and you have the freedom to be able to do things with her and have adventures with her. Like a lot of these women would always tell me like, oh yeah, we go on vacation like once a year.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. How do you go on vacation once a year and these guys are rich as hell? Like obviously, like I said earlier, you deserve what's going to happen to you. You're making money and you got a girl, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You're balling out in life. No, take a vacation. Take a vacation once, you know, every 2 months, every 3 months if you can. Take a vacation every holiday, every Christmas, just, you know what I mean? Just have fun with your girl. She's your wife. Have fun with her. Don't just leave her alone in the house. Like, that's weird as hell. You know what I mean?
You know, because he's always traveling for work and stuff like that. And I'm always like with
traveling for work. Yeah. we know what he's doing when he's traveling for work. But if I was in their shoes, if that was me, I would have like chatted to my wife, yo, you want to come travel with me to work? We could just explore, just do some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
the kids and all of that. And they would tell me everything about their relationships, everything about their lives. And I would feel so bad for these guys because maybe they knew,
yeah, they're
maybe
just
they didn't know.
saying
Maybe they
everything.
just
That's
didn't give a
crazy.
fuck, honestly. Because I've also come across a lot of guys who are well off that don't give a fuck what their woman does because they're also doing some shit on the side and they're really just there to build the family, build the legacy, and just do whatever, right? This would typically happen. But it would be so interesting to understand how these women think and how they view their relationship and how they don't give a fuck about their relationship and how they see their relationship as
crazy.
almost a crutch to their life versus like something that is actually a benefit for them. I mean,
What's that one Drake bar? That one Drake bar? How does it go? Man, this is so embarrassing. Something about how your ex held you down, but I'm there to like, like help you out. Bro. Moving on. I messed up. Holy shit.
I mean, they're benefiting with the money. They're benefiting with the guy who's ambitious,
Yeah.
right? But they want the other things. They want the intangible
They want
things,
the
or
fun,
the tangible things that aren't necessarily as important as the money. And as I started to learn
what I
even
coulda
when I was at
had.
Equinox, it was the same exact pattern, the same exact scenario. These
The
rich
what
women
if.
would come around. They would talk. They would over talk about their conversations with their husbands and their issues in the bedroom.
That's
their
disgusting.
issues with his
Over-talking
physical
is disgusting.
appearance. Their issues with his over dedication to work. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, how ungrateful could you be?
To be airing
Like
out your
this
husband
guy
like that?
that you're married to, this multi-millionaire, is out here doing everything possible to keep your life beautiful. But you go to this personal trainer who possibly would financially ruin your life to get something, the 10% that you don't have. So it was an interesting dynamic where I realized that a lot of men think that like, okay, I can give 90%. And even if I don't have the 10%, it's fine.
Nah.
But they don't tend to realize the 10% that
Is
they
what really
ignore
matters.
is the 90% that the woman wants. It goes both ways with relationships. That I've noticed when I've trained these women, I finally realized this. I was like, a lot of men think like I'm giving 90% of what I think she wants. And I don't have that 10%. In the woman's mind, he's giving nothing because there's the 10% that she wants is the 90% that he gives. And the 90% that she wants is only actually 0% of what he gives. So there's like a misalignment in what's being given on both sides, right? That's why men cheat, because they look for that 10% that they don't have
Right.
in the household. That's why women cheat, because they look for that 10% that they don't have that means more to them than the 90% that they're getting.
Right.
So it was a very interesting dynamic. And luckily for me, man, like I believe in karma, so I never ever shit where I eat, bro. Like never. And I would just come away with so much more wisdom and so much more understanding of like women who actually are in marriages with successful men, like how they truly think, how money is not everything. It is something. It is something that's very important. I'm not sitting here saying that you should not go get money and you should just get jacked and be broke and live whatever. Do both.
Get jacked and be broke.
Can do both. And that's what I would always look at their husbands and I'm like, bro, you could go.
You could
to
do
the
bro.
gym.
You could do
You're not
both.
traveling
Yeah.
every single day.
Dog, you're not traveling right now. Right now that I'm talking to you, you're not traveling. You can't spend 30 minutes. Just hop on a treadmill 30 minutes. You're good.
Even if you are traveling, there's a gym in that hotel. You can go train. You can take care of yourself. You don't have to look the way that you look. But they don't care because they're like money. Most of these guys were money hungry. To get to that level to where like these guys were making multi-million, they had like multi-millions of dollars
Gotta be hungry for
money
that.
that was coming into them every single year. They had these billion-dollar corporations, but they didn't give a fuck about their health because they just cared about the money. And I would see the relationship just like drift. And I would see the upcoming problems that would come in. A lot of these guys end up getting divorces because they would come back into the gym a year or two later. And they'd be like, yeah, things didn't work out, man. Like everything went bad.
Yeah.
And they would literally just like go to the gym and start to train because they realized, damn, I need to get in shape. I didn't take care of my body and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They would talk about the sex life that they had. They would say how it was piss poor, and it just taught me so much, man. But like I wanted to tell you guys this because I know a lot of us are here, like, you know, we're chasing the bag, we're chasing the money, we're chasing all these things, and we also do want to have women, right? We do. We are. You're attracted to women, right? It's okay to say that, fellas. It's okay to say you're attracted to women, and I know the key with that to maintain the attraction, to maintain the pull, is to stay in shape, make money, and be very, very social with the woman, right? Be very
Stay in
involved as
shape,
best as you
make
can.
money, and like I said, stay in shape, make money, um, be attentive, be fun, you know, be social, be yourself, be open.
Show some level of involvement. That's all of it. And I think a lot of guys don't necessarily do this, and they tend to fail with women a lot. That's why a lot of rich guys get divorces very, very, very quickly. Like the
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I struggle with like being open. I guess showing like attentiveness and openness, and that's not because like that's not because like I don't know how to talk to women or I'm afraid of approaching women. That's just more like me just being introverted and antisocial. Like growing up, I was just introverted, antisocial. I didn't really give a fuck. I just wanted to, you know, get what I wanted to do, just get it done and done with and move on. So, like, you know, I tend to come off very, if you, well, you can't, but if you ever do, let's say in a scenario where you do ask my exes, you know, why they broke up with me, it would usually be on some, usually most of the times they would say that I was too cold to them. And, you know, I get that is my fault. And yeah, I do get cold sometimes, but it's not because I'm trying to be cold or because I don't love you. It's just because I kind of got shit on my mind that I want to get off my mind for a bit. So I'm preoccupied, you know what I mean? And that's a big problem. That's a problem that I'm trying to fix and I'm trying to be more open. And it's not just to women too, it's to everyone. I'm not open with my friends, for example. I don't got no best friends. I got niggas I talk to. I got friends. I don't got no best friends. You can ask my friends. They be calling me on my phone on some, yo, where you at? We're trying to hit this club. We're trying to, you know what I'm saying? I just straight up just end the call and just move on with my life. I ain't trying to listen to that right now. I got preoccupied. You know what I mean? I gotta switch that. I gotta, you know, be more open and all that. I think I'm like good with the women. Like whenever I actually do open up and talk to women and, you know, actually show that I'm listening, like I get a lot of positive feedbacks. I get a lot of love back. But yeah, most of the times it's just I have my headphones on. I'm just listening. I'm in my own head most of the time. So I ain't looking like I'm paying attention, and it do be messing with me sometimes. It does cause a lot of problems, but yeah, it's something I'm trying to work on personally. I'm trying to be more extroverted than I was always introverted like growing up, and it's not because I didn't want to make friends or talk to people. It's just because I was fascinated about, you know, living, if that makes sense. Like I got a weird mind, you know what I mean? I be I be looking outside and just thinking like, yo, I'm alive. Like I'm here. I'm outside breathing air, you know? You know what I mean? Like this is me. So I be getting caught up in my mind a lot, and it be coming off as me being introverted. But yeah, it's something I'm, you know, trying to deal with. But I don't have no problem with with women. I don't know like I don't know why, you know, guys don't decide to take care of themselves or get into the gym and look, you know, the best they can look. It's good. It's a good thing. You need to, you know, health is wealth. Health is wealth. You need to get in there. You need to not even lose weight, but you need to look good.
woman waits for a certain
You
period
look
of
good
time
and
until
feel
everything's
good.
on autopilot, and she collects her bag and she runs. And it's like, I see this shit happen over and over again. And as a young trainer, it blew my fucking mind. Because I'm like, if you have money, then the woman's going to stay loyal. I was like, nah, it's not the case at all. You have to have more things. You have to have more things to offer. Is this fair? No. Right? Of course it's not fair. But life isn't fair.
Yeah,
but at least when you understand these things, you can operate differently. And you can focus on different areas of your life and do what I always say is become multidimensional.
Yeah.
Because when you're multidimensional, how can she compare you to anybody at that point? Because
exactly. You are everyone.
Boxes, and you tick the right boxes.
Yeah.
Right? You are in shape, so that way you're not a minute man, right? You're somebody who can take their clothes off in broad daylight.
A minute man. Getting in shape, going to the gym do be helping you last longer in sex. It do be, honestly. You want to last longer in sex, you got to be doing a lot of the stamina training. Just treadmill, bike, run, you know what I mean? Get your stamina up and lift a couple of weights so that way you're not like weak. You can actually pick her up, you know, and put her in all sorts of positions. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you don't be having, you know, if your sex game is bad in bed, just the best thing you can actually do is literally go to the gym. I don't as weird as it sounds, it will help you. It will help you with your stamina. It will help you with your strength, your recovery, and it will help you with your like testosterone, you know. So
in your own skin.
You don't end up being a minute man,
right? Because you have this career that you're doing, or you have this business that you're running. You understand the concept of making money. You have the charisma. You can make her laugh. You can tell stories. You can captivate her imagination whenever you need to. You can be around. You have the freedom, right? A lot of these corporate guys are stuck. Golden handcuffs, right? Golden handcuffs. I remember my uncle's probably the most successful person in my family. And he left his corporate job that was paying him multiple six figures a year to go build his own business because he wanted the freedom that came with that business. He was chasing freedom at that point. He was like, man, I got golden handcuffs. He told me, Martel, if he's the one that actually pushed me to go to Babson College, because I didn't want to go there. He was like, Martel, if you can do anything, be an entrepreneur, own your life. Yes, it will be a sacrifice in the beginning, but own your time. Because when you go into these corporations and you start working in these corporations, you will never have time for yourself. You'll never have time for your family. The job will be your entire life. And you will literally
that's real.
Feel like
that's real.
And that paycheck won't mean anything.
That's so real.
And that's what I saw with a lot of these guys that these rich women.
That's why I'm trying to start this
married,
YouTube thing.
Right? These rich guys that these women will be marrying. Let's keep it real, right? Because that's where they got the source of money. But it was just crazy to experience this stuff and like really see
really deep it, right? Really deep it.
Mind of how women work when their man is not there. And it just taught me, man, it's just like, one, never ever say okay if your woman wants to hire a male trainer. You should be in the best shape of your life to where you're giving her.
That's what you are the trainer. You are the trainer.
You should be the go-to for that.
Yeah,
she wants
literally.
To get a masseuse.
You be the masseuse.
Good
masseuse. Don't worry, babes. I got the oil in the back. I got the candles. Don't worry. I'll give you the best massage of your life. Just tell me what areas you need me to work on the most. I got you, you know.
So she doesn't need that.
Literally, what?
Everything, bro.
Everything. Gardening, pick up the shovel, pick up the hoe, pick up the, you know, get to work, bro. That's your garden. Get to work. That's your garden.
Your needs are, bro. Like if you're a hypersexual guy and you want to have sex all the time, like she should be catching up with that. And if she doesn't, then boom, now you got to go somewhere else, right? So it has to be give and take. But at the end of the day, it's like when you can master multiple different things, life becomes a lot easier and your relationships become a lot easier. And that's where a lot of men mess up. That's what I learned being a trainer. So I hope this was somewhat insightful for you. I hope this was helpful.
It was.
Again, if you want to work with me one-on-one to just build your life, get some freedom.
W video, W Martel. W video. Again, y'all go check out Martel's channel for real. He just popped up on my YouTube recommendation and the title was crazy. I had to watch it and I had to record and, you know, just talk about it because this really is crazy. The fact that not even money can make a woman loyal is, you know, it's different. It's crazy. You know, like, I don't know. You can't really. A married woman cheating is crazy to think about. Because you grow up, if you grew up in a stable, very well structured. How do you say that word? Structured. If you grew up in a very well stable household with two families, two parents that love their family, then you live life, you grow up in life, kind of thinking or kind of understanding that, oh, once two people meet and they're married, they're meant to stay forever. But get into real life and you realize that that's not how life works. Shit happens. And fortunately, if you don't want shit to happen to you, you have to be a well balanced, well rounded person. You have to be the person that's in the gym and is fit, right? Because all these girls are gonna be on some, oh my god, your body looks good. How do you get a body like this? You go to the gym, are you a trainer? They'll want to be grabbing on your body, grabbing on, you know what I mean? You gotta go to the gym, you gotta look good, right? Hygiene. Go to the gym, look good. Hygiene, right? Those are the things you need. Another thing you need is money. You don't gotta be rich. You don't gotta be Jeff Bezos. You don't gotta be Elon Musk. You don't even gotta be a multi-millionaire. You just have to, be able to, if you're shorty ass, you wanna, you know what I'm saying? You're shorty ass, oh, can we go on a vacation? You gotta be able to, like, I can afford that, you know what I mean? You gotta have money stashed aside, for not just for your shorty, but you gotta have money stashed aside for you and your family, your loved ones, your people you gotta feed, And third of all, you just have to be socially open. You have to be able to talk. You don't have to talk well. You just have to talk, be yourself. There's this one video I watched. It was Aiden Ross. I know, crazy, right? He was talking about how he dealt with like speech problems, like talking to people growing up, and the best way he can help, the best thing that helped him beat that problem was to ask questions that he would want them to ask back to him. So if you deal with, if you're a person that deals with talking or interacting with people, just ask them questions that you would want them to ask back to you. How was your day? Oh my god, your hair looks nice. The weather. What did you get? Did you, what? Just talk about anything. Literally, it could be random. It could be like, oh, are you here often? What do you do for fun? Just stuff you want people to ask back to you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's crazy because, like, I don't know. I remember some guy I used to talk to, not in that way, but we used to chat it up. We were friends and everything. Yeah, he came to me and he asked me, he's like, yo, how do you, like, get girls? Like, how do you talk to girls? And I looked at him, I'm like, what do you mean? How do you talk to girls? What do you mean, how do you get girls? You talk to them. You know what I mean? Like, it was so odd that I think that was the first time someone actually asked me, yo, how do you pick up girls? What do you mean, how do you pick up girls? You talk to them. You talk to them just like you would talk to anyone else. You say hello. You know what I mean? Like, weird question, but I realize that a lot of people do suffer with stuff like this. A lot of people don't really, like, understand or can't really tell whenever, like, a girl is being flirty, or can't really tell, like, whenever a girl is, like, trying to, get your attention. Just give her the attention she wants. You don't have to give her your full attention, but just tell her that you're looking. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you said, be in shape, get your money up, and be social. That's honestly the only way you can win in life. If your health, your money, and if you're a very social, outgoing person, that's the only way you can win in life. And so what if you lose your woman? So what if you lose your girl? You can find another girl, and most likely they will, be falling head over heels for you because, like he said, you look good, you're in shape, you got money, and you're sociable, you can approach anyone with those characteristics and they would madly fall in, well, not madly, but they would, like, any girl would, like, probably, like, oh, this guy's attractive, this guy, like, yeah, I would love to, like, get to know him better, or I would love to, like, get to know him more, or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, I'll catch y'all later in the next episode. Love you guys, by the way. And yeah, I'll see y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow Martel, follow my channel, check out my recent videos, check out my socials. If I do end up putting socials on here, make sure y'all check it out though. Much love, much love.